Hello, welcome back to another video. I am doing a second trimester update, and just to let you know all the sort of things that's been going on. And as you can see, I'm quite big. I'm in my third trimester when I'm filming this. I'm not this big in the second trimester, but yeah, so I'll be doing that to let you know. Obviously, second trimester of pregnancy, a lot goes on, a lot of growing, a lot of information, like obviously, so I've got an ulcer. Obviously, we found out what we was having, and people know what we're having now. We're having a boy, which is good, and we're much more positive about it now. We're a lot further along past the 24 mark where they're viable, so that helps a lot in like positivity and things. Like my prenatal depression is a lot better because I've been focusing more on positives, and as I get further along I'm being more positive. Like, I'm still nervous and scared about certain things, but say I've been letting myself enjoy it more. And so yeah, the day we found out we was having a boy was at our gender scan, a 16-week one, and that was so cool. Literally, I thought it was a boy, but waiting for them to say it was like the longest 5 minutes of my life. They took forever because the umbilical cord was in the way, and I could see something, but obviously it could have just been that. And then they wrote it on there for us, and it was so cool. So we're thinking about names. I've had quite a few thoughts of names. My other half and me are sticking with one at the moment. We're keeping that to ourselves though. Or mainly to ourselves. We've had other thoughts of names, because obviously he needs a name. we are putting Leo in the name to remember one of the ones we lost, because we only named one of them because the other one was only really early and we never really had an inkling of what that was. I was only about 5-6 weeks, and I knew for like a week, so I just call that one my angel. And then obviously we have Leo, we were putting in the name, which I'm happy about, so it's not like forgotten, and when we're older we can tell this one about him. Like names, we quite like old type of names, like we like Riley, we like Elvis, we like Oscar, we like Charles, we like Sandy, but I can't use Sandy because I have an auntie called Sandy, so that would just be weird. Oliver, Reed, but say the first few I mentioned are on the top of our list. Yeah, so that's our names, some of the names we've been thinking of. Sickness I've had through most of my pregnancy. I had a few weeks where it eased off, but second trimester for me, I don't seem to get any better. I've had sickness, I've had the heartburn, I've been physically sick. I had a painful urinary tract infection that was giving me pain up to my kidneys and was actually making me tighten. And I went to hospital because 111, and they told me to go after I got a phone call back because it was continuously like contracting sort of thing, and it was like scary because I thought I was going to like preterm labour or something. Luckily I wasn't, and luckily they gave me some antibiotics and it got rid of it. It still hurt, it was still painful, but obviously I'd rather that than anything else. And say compared to anything else we've gone through in the past, wasn't anything. So yeah, I've had So with my depression, I've been focusing more on positive things and trying to cut or avoid certain things that are going to affect me mentally. So, pregnancy after loss is never like easy, especially when you've had a lot of stress and judgment and comments and just OTTness that you don't need or deserve. Yeah, I've had a lot of things that I've like obviously maybe not want to enjoy it, and then I have people add into that. It's just, I don't see how being pregnant after a loss, people can think it's easy and you need support, and then you just get compared, and apparently you're not allowed to be happy, or if you're happy you're not allowed to be sad, or it's just like, it's your life, you don't know how other people are feeling. Like, I've had a few comments about my last pregnancies saying, or comparing, and I just hate it when people compare stuff. It's especially when one's worse than the other. It's like, I would never compare my pain to someone that's had a stillborn, because I know their pain is like completely different and completely worse, and it's just unimaginable. We lost one at like 5-6 weeks, and we lost one at 9.5, almost 10 weeks, and I carried him till I was almost 16 weeks, and that made a much more impact than my 5-week one. And yet people still think, or they can compare their previous loss or pain or a medical condition to things, and it's not right. You just don't compare it. Don't compare your pain to someone else's. Say everyone's pain is different, you handle it different. I would never compare my 10-week, just before 10-week loss to a 35-week loss, because it's not the same. And obviously you still have the right to hurt and things, but if you're not going through a lot and it's just like a medical condition and things, there is no comparison. Especially when it's a baby and you lose your baby and people are like, oh, I'm going through so much, you have no right to hurt because you're in a good place now. I still hurt, I'm still grieving, I just learned to handle it better, and obviously having our rainbow has helped, but it was still hard at first because obviously I was coming to terms with all the emotions and everything. As I get more onto the positive, cravings, I haven't had many cravings. I had like smells that I love. I love lemony smells and cleaning stuff. At the beginning of the second trimester, I loved sweet and salty crisp things, and I'd just sit there and eat loads of them. Well, loads for me. I love to smell grapefruits, which is bizarre. I've craved orange juice through every pregnancy. I don't know why, I think it's just a hydration, vitamin C sort of thing my body loves. Yeah, so the second trimester has been much better for me. I've enjoyed it more. I've embraced it more, even though my body is like clearly changing. I've embraced that as well, even though like my past of my eating disorder, I've embraced it, and I love my bump. And even though that's another thing, he's so low, so it doesn't look like it here because I'm sitting down, but when I'm standing he is so low, and it feels like he's constantly in my pelvic area, which he isn't, because sometimes he's been breech from my midwife appointments, and I'm like, what? But I think where I have a lot of water, that might be to do with it, or where he's long or heavy, or where I'm just carrying differently because he's a boy, he just sits lower. But so I think he's going to be early. Obviously I've still got a while, but I still think he's going to be earlier. I think as soon as I hit like 37 weeks, he's going to want to come. Hopefully not, because I want a bit more time to be prepared. But hopefully in a way I don't get too big, because then I'll want him to come early, because I'll be like, oh my god, I'm so big. Weight wise, till the end of the second trimester I put on I think just under a stone. but it was really hard for me to put on any weight at first, so that was really actually good for me, because I was actually proud, because I was struggling at first and I thought weight gain would have been a problem because of my previous eating disorder, but it's actually not messed with my head too much, you know, because I'm glad he's gaining weight, and all the 20-week scans and everything come back fine. He's measuring all fine. He's measuring ahead from the 20-week scan. He's actually bigger, so he might be a big baby, which is great. But yeah, so I never imagined I would be having a little boy. Like, I've always wanted one, and obviously we felt we lost one, but to actually know we're having one soon, this year, in the next 3 months or so, is amazing. So I hope you like this video. I hope you stay tuned and watch our journey. I hope you like this video. Subscribe, comment if you want more, and I'll see you for my next one.